another like misconception about working with your spouse, because I know people are like, oh my gosh, I would never want to spend that much time with somebody. Hey.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another day.
We are in the car, surprise, surprise, with our seatbelts on.
Yes. We are heading home. We just left the coffee shop, so we're going back home to eat lunch. It's a late lunch. We were busy, super busy all morning. It's almost 3 o'clock.
Today's been crazy. We got up early, we hit the gym, we did all that stuff.
Got ready, ate breakfast, went to the coffee shop.
Speed bump. And we've just been working non-stop. I've been putting out fires for this client and working on a bunch of other things. And I know Josh has been putting out bugs.
Mine has been, I'm finishing out this new feature for DocSpace, but
Speed bump.
just have this one bug that's preventing the whole thing from going out, and it's something that's embedded in a repository I'm using. It's not even my own, so I'm trying to debug that, and then jumping back and forth. I had like 3 meetings this morning, jumping back and forth between that, doing some client work. So it's just been a really busy morning. I feel like I blinked. Like I feel like we literally just got to the coffee shop and 6 hours or more have passed.
I know, I cannot believe that it's already 2:30, it's almost 3. And I'm like, I have so much stuff to finish today.
Yeah.
Luckily, we can keep working through the night. Time to eat though.
The day is still young.
True. Last night for dinner, Last night for dinner I made stuffed green peppers. It is ground turkey, jalapenos, some sort of, cheese, like queso cheese, and regular cheese. They may not look good, they taste amazing. This is what they look like. It's a bunch of meat and jalapenos with layers of cheese. Yummy! And if any of you guys are doing the keto diet, which we are actually not doing, this is a very keto-friendly meal, just in case. Forgot to mention there is quinoa in this, but that is high in protein. It's good. It's one of Josh's favorite things. Ah, you're so tall. So, as we're talking about benefits of working remote, one of the biggest ones for me.
And me.
Which may not be everybody, but it's something to work with Josh every day.
It's not a surprise to me.
My significant other.
It really is. Like, Brandy's my best friend, and I don't even say that to be corny or cheesy or anything like that. It's really true. Like, that's why we got married. You know what I mean? Because we used to hang out all the time. Literally almost every single day while we were dating. And so now, literally, one of my favorite parts is we get to work together every single day.
And that was the biggest part of us hanging out, is we weren't hanging out necessarily doing things. We were hanging out working together, working on, different projects or different side projects. And now that we get to work together every single day, not on the same thing, but just together, that was something that I had always wanted, because I love being around Josh. I'm not sick of it yet.
And vice versa. Actually, a little backstory, we didn't start working remote and then learned we liked working together. Actually, Brandy ended up coming and working at ShowFlow, and we were hesitant at first. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, I was asking my dad for advice. Like, do you work with your significant other? We asked.
Is that a good idea?
I think we asked like
Lisa and
everybody.
Pretty much everybody. And it's just, people are hesitant, you know what I mean, to say yes. And because working together every day and then spending all night or evening together.
Yeah, it's a big commitment.
Yeah, people are like, well, no, you'll get sick of that person. Long story short, she ended up working there, and that became my favorite part. We'd eat lunch together every day. Our desks were right next to each other. And so that's how, even before we both started working remote, we already knew we loved working together.
And I think a lot of it is we're just the same person, through and through. That was something that made me very attracted to Josh, and he's just very transparent. What you see is what you get, which I think is very important to be that way in general, so people have an authentic version of you, or they know your authentic self. And it's just easier to be that person and to work with one another, especially if you get along.
Yeah, Brandy's a hustler, hard worker too, and so she keeps me in check, if I ever feel like slacking off. She's hustling. Vice versa. And so we get to motivate each other, encourage each other, brainstorm ideas together, talk business, talk life, and also we work a ton. So it's nice to be able to just come up for air for 30 minutes and have a conversation.
And when I don't feel like working, Josh is there to push me out of bed. And when he doesn't feel like working, which is really never, Josh is like a machine. He just kind of...
Yes! 10 reams for the U.S. District Court.
Did I happen to mention the 40 reams for the battered women's shelter?
I just have like a pattern.
And for me, there's times if I don't like what I'm working on, it's like it'll be a struggle. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
You'll be like, ugh.
Who is that? Who's the bear or who's the cyborg?
And then I just watch him, and he's robotic. It's so crazy. It's like, hopefully I'll be able to like document that more for you guys just to see how robotic it is. But it's just every day is the same. Like, wake up early, he starts working. For me, I get up, have my coffee, and do my devotion. But he kind of starts working, and then he'll take a break and do his quiet time. It's just very...
Yeah, it's very routine. It's good. I love routine, but that is definitely one of the perks of working remote. Is you not only get to work where you want, but you can work with who you want.
Mm-hmm.
With who you? Yeah.
You gotta work.
Doesn't that sound weird? I don't know.
Sound
You get to work with whoever you want to, and so as long as they work remote and they have that flexibility too, you know, it can work out. It could be awesome because you can go work at coffee shops together. You can travel together.
Yeah.
There's so many times where we're traveling together, which is awesome, and we're literally in another city or another country working. And
At a
because
coffee
we both
shop.
work remote.
Get to work together. Get to have that experience together. It's just awesome, especially when you pick somebody to do life with. You want to actually live your life with that person.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is what marriage is about.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, loving them, but it's about doing life together, finding somebody, which I know is not what this video is about, but it's about finding somebody who pushes you to be your best self, and they don't drag you down or make you feel bad, but they bring the best out in you.
Yep. They believe in you. They encourage you. It's just somebody that you know has your back, and that's what's really important.
Yeah, and that helps because in work, he brings out the best in me, so I'm
And vice versa.
hopefully always producing that best work. But we are going to get back to it. We've been talking to you guys for a while, so back to work.
See ya.
So I really wanted to kind of just touch on why I love working with Josh so much.
You're blushing.
And one of the biggest things is he is such a support system for me. This past end of the year hasn't been the greatest. Definitely not the most fun. That sometimes those things that aren't the best or the most fun can really drag you down and make you very unmotivated. And having somebody like him, he's not like, rah, rah, let's do this. He's just... supportive. Seeing how hard he works really pushes me to always do my best and strive to do my best, when that's working for myself or when I take on client work or even when I'm in the office. It's a real joy getting to be with somebody that is so passionate and so determined to make a better life for other people. Not just himself or for our family or anything like that. Like, he genuinely builds software to better people's lives, not to Scrooge them on pricing or anything like that. Like, he genuinely wants to build the best products with the best features for the right price and really change people's life through the work that he creates. Seeing that day in and day out is truly inspiring and really motivating. I know a lot of you guys asked about us working together, and that's really what it is. Day in and day out, it's literally a blast. Like I always say, marriage is like a sleepover. I think a super fun slumber party every single night, and I won't change it. Tips though, if you are wanting to work with your spouse or you've thought about it.
It sort of changes everything.
It does change everything.
Yeah. Something I would recommend is making sure you have working hours, and those are pretty much set. So you work on your stuff, he works on his stuff, and then you have breaks if you want to hang out. Like we do meals and stuff together, but you just kind of keep the work day a work day. That'd be my biggest piece of advice. I think another misconception about working with your spouse, because I know people are like, oh my gosh, I would never want to spend that much time with somebody. Josh and I used to work together, not professionally, but we used to work together on the weekends and during the week, and when I was in school and things like that, we would meet up at coffee shops and always be together. And I think because we're so compatible, he does his thing and I do my thing, so it's not like we're talking and collaborating and hanging out all the time. We do have meetings together, but those are maybe once a week. At the very beginning of the week, we sort of game plan and strategize on the things that we need to get done so we can hold each other accountable. But it's really just, I don't know, it's just working with your best friend every single day. I mean, it's definitely not for everybody, but it is for us. Our personalities, it just works well. We produce better work together. And yeah, it's amazing.
Why do I like working with my spouse? Because that. She's the person that believes in me more than anybody else in the world.
Was she worth it?
Yep, she was.
And that alone is so much motivation for me to try and work harder, get up earlier, work longer, become smarter, is because all of that belief, all of that faith in what I can do and what I'm going to do, I want to prove right. Outside of her literally just being my best friend, and I just enjoy every moment I'm with her. I love eating lunch. I love telling stories. I love just talking to her about all the ideas and business things I'm thinking about in my head. I love hearing about all the things she's thinking about. I love all the things she's doing. So, but if it comes down to one of the main things, it's the belief of having somebody around that believes in me more than anybody else in the world, that I want to prove that belief right. Another thing would be, the way Brandy sees the world is through this. The eyes of like this type of people, right? Or this view of the world, right? Playful, fun, little animals, people like, you wouldn't expect it because she's really a hustler, she's kind of hardcore, but her perspective on fun little things, little animals, the way she loves and talks about animals, like it just keeps a lighthearted, fun nature perspective for me, not to take everything so serious, but to have fun. And honestly, I was never really an animal person. I love animals because of how much she loves animals.
Everyone, this is a day that will live in infamy.
Alright, you guys. So this ends our vlog about working together.
Yes.
Hope it wasn't too mushy for you guys.
And hope you guys find either one of your boyfriend or your girlfriend or just somebody awesome you can work with remotely as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty awesome experience.
Yeah.
So if you like this video, if you got any sort of pointers that you thought was useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel below.
Thanks guys, we'll see you tomorrow.